We welcome in head coach Josh McDaniels. And coach, let's talk about the win against the Texans. Through 3 quarters and 21 unanswered. What changed in the fourth quarter?
I thought our guys had great competitive stamina in the game, and Houston had, they had been in a bunch of close games, and as have we. And so we kind of talked about it all week long about it probably going to be a fourth quarter game. That's the way they play, and obviously that's what our games have been like. So I thought our guys just hung in there. They knew that we were going to need to make some good plays at the end. I thought the offense kind of got into a rhythm there, running the football, staying out of 3rd and longs. We're able to score in the red zone 3 times, and then the defense obviously came up with the big pick 6. So just give our guys a lot of credit.
Was that a physicality test for your team? Because that was we talked last week how physical. Tell me about the physicality.
No question.
Now.
Different style of play that they used, and Lovey's always done a great job of coaching that team. And I thought our guys acclimated to it through the course of the week, and then we got used to it as the game wore on both sides of the ball, and definitely was a physical game on both sides. And I thought we were able to do a good job of controlling the line of scrimmage for the most part, and then we did a good job with our coverage teams, which we knew was going to be a big challenge too. Josh's
performance, we've been talking about it for 1 week, but what about 3 weeks? Combine this 3-week one historically and what he's been able to do.
Yeah. I think our offensive line and our fullback, tight ends have been doing a really good job of just giving him a hat and a hat. He's not seeing a lot of color in the backfield. And when JJ gets to the line of scrimmage and he's got a full head of steam, it's hard to stop him from making 4 or 5 yards, and he's obviously a very good runner in space. He's seeing everything very well right now. And most importantly for me, he's taking care of the football. He's really covered it up at the end of runs. He's finishing with some physicality, and he's staying healthy. He's doing all the right things to keep his body feeling the way that he needs to keep it feeling.
The nastiness of the O-line in the red zone. I saw Colton, a couple of guards pulling, just really angry, nasty downhill blocking. Let's get into that.
Yeah, we talked about last week when we said we needed to improve in the red zone. The easiest way to improve in the red zone is just to hand the ball to the back and run it in.
Right.
And so we had 3 red zone plays the entire game and 3 possessions, and they all ended up being in the end zone with Josh carrying it. So we knew we were going to do more of that. We talked to our team about it. We practiced it that way from Wednesday on, and I thought they had the right mindset, and obviously they executed well.
I thought it was great that Marcus Allen was down there in the tunnel. He was with the owner, came down there. I want to talk about mentoring. Freddie Bolitnikoff with Hunter to see what's happening here. That is great. That's what this building's all about.
Yeah, no doubt. And there's such a rich tradition and history here. I think our players are learning more and more about that. I mean, some of our guys were so young that they're not really familiar with everything that these guys have done, but Josh is certainly aware of Marcus's accomplishments. I thought it was very special for him to have him there and recognize him for that.
Take me through the Duron Harmon play as he jumped that route and what you saw there from the sidelines.
Yeah, it was. They were running a 4 vertical type scheme, and Duron has a knack for closing games. He's done it his whole career, and you get a lead. We know it's a passing game at that point in time, and Duron has a great ability to read the eyes of the quarterback. Mills kind of stayed on that side the whole drop, and Duron was in a quarters type coverage and just went ahead and jumped it when he saw the throwing motion begin. So those are the kind of things that he's done for his entire career, and hopefully we can give him more opportunities by getting ahead to have a chance to do some of those things.
We were talking about the safeties and the amount of plays they're playing, the 3 of them. Can you talk about that from coming out of training camp and how that scheme is working?
Yeah, our big nickel group, we call it, with John down there as the nickel back, and then Trayvon and Dew playing a lot of different spots. They're just versatile guys. They're smart guys. They help us in the passing game. They help us in the run defense. We're asking a lot of them, but those guys have been willing and able to accept the challenge. They embrace it every week.
Let's go to New Orleans. Dennis Allen, a former head coach for this organization, his defensive style. What do you think about him and the scheme and what you've seen this year?
Very aggressive. The linebackers stand out. They're very downhill. Davis, Werner. Werner leads the league in tackles for loss, and Davis is 5th in the league in sacks, inside linebacker, which is something you don't see very often. The defensive front, long, very long. Jordan, Davenport, these guys, they really condense the pocket, crush the pocket in the pass rush when it becomes a passing game. And the secondary is opportunistic. optimistic. Got a lot of guys back there that I'm familiar with. We're starting to learn those guys here this week with our guys. Just a very sound group. Dennis has always played an aggressive style, challenges you in situational football. A lot of things we got to prepare for and get ready for. And playing down there with the noise is never easy.
Yeah, before we get to the noise, I want to get to Andy Dalton being named the starter. Jameis is back healthy there.
Yep.
They got veterans there, quarterbacks who have seen systems. What do you think of that?
Yeah, two solid guys.
Yeah.
Both maybe a little bit different in terms of their overall style of play. In terms of Jameis really pumps it down the field. I mean, averaging 12 yards a completion, those types of things. And Andy's really a cerebral guy. He can see the field very well. It's hard to trick him. He usually goes to the right place with the football. So they've both been very productive. They're in the top 5 or 6 in scoring. We're going to have to do a really good job of trying to make them go the long, hard way and not give up those big chunks.
Alvin Kamara and sealing the edge. Your defensive ends are really good and have to concentrate also in the run game and the screen game.
Yeah, no doubt. He's one of the best backs in the league, has been for a long time. Pass game, run game, they get it to him a number of different ways. We've told our guys, you're at the point of attack no matter where the run starts. It could start to the left and it's going to come back to the right, vice versa. So everybody needs to do their job to try to contain this guy in their running game. Noise
in the Dome. You just coached in Kansas City. Tell me the difference between the Dome and some of the louder outdoor venues.
Yeah, this one's about as loud as it gets when they got it humming. And so I think for us, being able to get in and out of the huddle quickly so we have time at the line of scrimmage, the noise becomes problematic when you're fighting the play clock. So in Kansas City that week, we were really trying to, get into the huddle, get out of the huddle with 20 seconds left on the play clock. So Derek's not scrambling at the line of scrimmage to try to do his job and then also deal with the noise. So that's going to be our operation in general is going to be important. I'd say the beginning of the game, the start of each drive. Those are key areas where the noise is going to be there, and you can kind of maybe settle it down a little bit if you execute and perform well.
And no turnovers from your quarterback in a win there. That's very impressive.
Yeah, no doubt. We have to continue to do that. I think our team has really bought into how important taking care of the football is, and that's obviously going to be important this week.
One more on one game at a time. What is that like in this building now? You got momentum, the road trip's coming up here, but it's one at a time, and this is a big team you're playing.
Yeah, short-term goals. We keep talking about it. We can't do anything about the past, and the future is insignificant at this point for us. So we're just going to focus on having a good Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, try to get ourselves as healthy and ready to go as we can for Sunday, go down there and give it our best performance, and then we'll move on from there.
Let's end it with the fans again, as we did last week. I've been on this road trip over the decades. It's unbelievable. Raider Nation sees that game and they circle it. It's going to be great to see that you have an army of fans behind you there. Your message to the fans in this one.
Well, we appreciate them. They travel as well as anybody else in the country. We'll look forward to seeing them and greeting them in the Dome. We know that there'll be some noisy Saint fans there, but we also expect our crew to make some noise, just like we did in LA and some other places we've been this year. There'll be some noise when New Orleans has the ball as well.
Good luck, Coach.
Thanks a lot.